I suppose, Minister, these amendments are welcome, and they are a response to the amendments that were brought over and the debates that occurred in this House. I accept that there is a need to extend the time to the 28th of February, and I have a bit of a curiosity as to how the groupings worked on this, because I would have thought this should have happened with number 9 as well. Because as I understand it, the extension is in order to write to the contributors to the confidential committee in order that they may exercise their agency on whether they wish to be redacted or named. And I come back to, I have difficulty with whether you opt in or opt out, as you have previously mentioned. I had the same curiosity. My only question around that is that if the report is issued on the 30th of October and the intervening period until the end of February, and maybe I'm missing something, but the intervening period is to allow for people to have their names included or not, then are we going to end up with 2 reports? And how is that being overcome? I suppose, are we then losing the intervening period from a point of view of it going to the AG and the publication of the report and all of that? Are we now, as a consequence, losing from October through to February? And so I'd really appreciate the clarification on that. In the context, and in your own office, Owen has been fantastic in chatting some of the issues through with me. I am anxious as to what happens with the report. In its first and foremost, it should be an exposure of our society, of the people that were victims of our society and our state throughout a particular period of time. And it should be that truth-telling purpose in its first place, of that we acknowledge that journey, that hardship that has been imposed on people, and our society's attitude, and what we tolerated or what we thought was okay, or that we didn't even think to question. So I think that that's a really, really significant thing in and of itself. But I also want to see that it goes to a place where justice will be served, where this can be forwarded on. And so in that context, and this may go to Senator Mullin's question in it, it is my understanding that anyone that went before the Confidential Committee was given the warning that one gives at the beginning of any counselling session, that what you say, if it engages child protection, if it engages, then we will be obliged to take action on it. And it is my understanding, and perhaps you could confirm that for the benefit of the House, it is my understanding that that references have already been made to the Garda Síochána, and that names have been attached to that. And I think that would be beneficial just to hear that in the context of Senator Mullin's comments as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.